Welcome to the Queer Edge with Jackie Jett. I got to tell you, this show's kind of becoming the Don Kirshner rock concert for a new queer millennium, if you will, because rock music has had such a major influence over my life. All the way from the Archie singing about sugar, sugar, to the 1910 Fruit Gum Company singing about yummy, yummy. Straight up, through the soundtrack of Billy Jack, where we learned when they turned the rock over, piss on earth was all it said. And one tin soldier rides away. Yeah. Since that time, though, the only rocker to urinate on this earth is his royal purpleness, Prince, and his purple rain. Purple rain. I mean, I love Asia, and I love Styx, and I love Aerosmith, but my most special love is held for Prince. I miss Prince. Where is Prince? And when I say Miss Prince, I'm not making a derogatory reference to the young son of Michael Jackson. No, I'm talking about his royal purpleness. The artist formerly known and presently known, and until further notice is known as Prince. The one who, for a while, was simply known as this. Yes, yeah. Where has that little Nellie Black breeder gone? Many of you may not know this. This is true, though. He got his start playing a puffy-shirted rock star on the TV series Mannix. Yeah, he was Huggy Bear before there ever was a Huggy Bear. He has come and gone and gone and come and gone, and how he has teased us all with his wispy little mustache and his sexual ambiguity. He's pushed the envelope, the effeminate envelope. He has pushed it right off the table. And we were there to catch it. To catch it like a drop of purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, I miss him, and I miss the smell of his raspberry beret. And the sad thing is this: the only place I can visit him now, as in the bargain bin of my record store, where you can buy his entire record collection cheap, like it's $19.99. Okay, let's have a moment of silence for that really bad pun.
It's your reality.
Thank you. But everyone on our show tonight is cheaper than that, but they're equally as flamboyant. We have Sandra Bernhard. Yeah, our funky guest star for the next 8 weeks. We have Rob Williams with news from the Edge. We have the very funny Paul Vogt from The Princess Diaries and Raising Helen, and formerly of Mad TV. Yeah. By the way, he's portly. A word we learned last night. Also, J. Keith Van Straaten from What's My Line is here. And last but certainly not least, an authentic diva. And you know you're a diva when you have backup dancers. Does that make me a diva? We have GIOIA here tonight. The Barbarellas are here tonight. So queer edgers, you know what they say? If it ain't broke, yeah. Because we queer edgers, we are a you.
Welcome to the Queer Edge with Jackie Jett. Now, come on out! Come on out!
working it. Listen, welcome to the Queer Edge. It's Friday. We have had an amazing week. Our first week with the love of my life, Miss Sandra Bernhard. We have had a plethora, if you will, of perverted entertainment, and tonight will be no exception. But first, if I can, I want to explain something to you people. I joke about, we do live TV, and live TV, by the way, is no easy task. So we have a brilliant crew that helps out here, and especially it makes it even harder when you have a host that is borderline retarded. And so, and I know you guys think I joke about this and that it's, you know, that I'm really some brilliant genius or something. But to prove to you that this is not the case, this is in all seriousness. This is what they are, all types of little forms that go on, you know, for live TV. But this is what they give to Jackie Jett. Can we get a close-up of this? It's the Queer Edge simple rundown for the simple host. Simple. That's the key word here at Queer Edge for moi, which is keep it simple for Jack. Really easy. They speak to me in really small words. And I want them to know I really appreciate it. I really do. And here, but our guest host for the next 8 weeks is smart. I mean, she knows big words. And she doesn't need a simple rundown. She doesn't need a fucking rundown at all. She's the critically acclaimed comedian, actress, singer, and all-around cool chick. Please welcome the one and only Miss Sandra Bernhard. How are you, honey? You're looking beautiful. Yes, there was concern. There's been concern about my tie.
I need a beverage. I need a beverage of my choice.
Barbarella, Miss Bernhard needs a beverage.
When you have a minute, girls, when you have a minute, you know, you don't have to kiss my ass.
Yeah.
That's why I love my girls.
No.
Because they're real with me.
They are real with you. And so they'll get you your damn drink when they're damn good and ready
That's
to get
right.
that.
When I'm parched and crawling with my nails in the desert sand, just as
That's the way it works here. Trust me, I can't. I've been asking for a glass of water for the last 3 weeks, and still haven't got it. So don't expect any.
Well, you must get dehydrated because you're like you're a schwitzer.
I am a schwitzer.
You gotta replenish your bodily fluids.
Yeah. Listen, I want to ask you something.
Ask me some things.
Last night we didn't get a chance. First of all, it's been amazing having you here this week.
It's been amazing being here. As you know, I'm enjoying it.
I want you to know you passed your drug test. Yes, we got the results back. It was positive for Oxycontin, positive for Valium, positive for marijuana, positive for crack. You've got to stop that, honey. But here's the thing. It was also positive, and this is where we're going to have some issue, positive for something called Lipitor. Lipitor?
Oh, for the heart,
cholesterol.
Cholesterol, yes.
Yeah, we cannot, we don't allow people on our show to be on Lipitor. So
we just eat copious amounts of fat, disgusting, dripping, greasy, mid-American crap. And
somehow this is connected to this whole you not allowing us to fry bacon in your dressing room.
Wow.
But that goes without saying. But I do want to ask you, how much time do we have? Because we're getting questions from our viewers now come on in, honey.
Thank you, gorgeous, darling lady.
Yeah.
Is that in an amber glass?
Uh-huh.
An amber alert glass.
Oh, amber alert. I have our Queer Edge viewers are of a little twisted persuasion, as you can imagine.
Well,
and they have questions for Sandra Bernhard. So are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
I'm ready? Okay.
Ready.
What kind of woman is Sandra Bernhard?
She's a woman of corrupt values and deplete morality.
Okay. That's a plus, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
The kids here all know it.
Sandra Bernhard, does she vacuum?
Does she ever? She loves to vacuum. I have the new Root vacuum.
The Super Hoover thing?
No, it's not Hoover. It's the, what is it?
Dyson?
Dyson.
Oh.
I have my Dyson on both coasts.
Wow. That comes from...
It saves the landfills.
Yeah, that comes from
Honey.
being rich. So yes, she's a high-class vacuumer.
And a friend of mine, you know, everybody in New York's always like, oh, I can get you a Dyson. I'm hooked up with Dyson. I'm like, well, then give me a fucking Dyson.
Is that the new chic thing?
I paid full price for my Dyson.
So it's gone, New York has now gone beyond, like, who's got the best coat?
That's right.
To now, who's got the
best
connections for the vacuum?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're up there. Okay, let me ask you this. How many electrical outlets does Sandra Bernhard have in her home?
You know, I like to keep them sparingly because too many of them start to clutter and they confuse me, and the electrical charges are they're too confounding for me, Jackie. So I have them every 10 or 20 feet.
But you're not able to give me an exact number, are you?
I would venture to guess there are between 10 and 15 electrical outlets in my home in New York City.
Can you do me a favor for our viewers? Can you find out the specific amount and get back with us?
When I go home to New York, I will count them here in L.A. in my L.A. manse, and then when I go home to New York, I will count them in New York.
I know you think this is all superfluous, but this is serious stuff.
There's some sort of a balance in the universe that kind of rests on this information.
This is really important. And now, speaking of importance, this is, thank you, Jesus, for this segue alert. Now we have some news from the Edge.
Yes.
With our friend, Mr. Rob Williams.
Hello and welcome to the news from the Edge. Good evening. Good evening. Our top story tonight, the U.S. is still being criticized for its bombing in Pakistan over the weekend. In an attempt to kill the #2 man in Al-Qaeda, the CIA used a drone aircraft to bomb a building in a remote village. Some Pakistanis are saying that they killed the terrorist al-Zawahiri. Some are saying that he was never there at all. But most are saying, what the hell are you doing dropping bombs in any country you feel like? If you thought Al-Qaeda was in Paris, I suppose you just bombed the crap out of the Louvre? What the hell is wrong with you people? Not all that glitters is gold and not everyone in a turban is out to kill you. At least not yet, but keep trying because you're getting us there. You're on my last chakra. The mayor of Damadola, the city that was attacked, said God is punishing them and that the town is determined to rebuild and that it will remain a chutney city. Chutney City? Chocolate City? Nobody. All right, here we go. Moving on. Thanks. Good. Vice President Dick Cheney was given a clean bill of health yesterday on his follow-up visit after a medical scare over the holidays.
Oh, that's too bad.
It is sad. On Christmas Eve, Cheney was surveying one of his evil plans without warning. Cheney's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. He was immediately treated for this cardiac abnormality, and his staff say that he is already back in his office hating the Who's down in Whoville. In a related story, Jesse Jackson is still going strong hating all the Jews down in Jewville. Iran is pissing off the world again. The country whose president recently said Israel should be wiped off the map is getting his wiping materials in order by reactivating the country's uranium enrichment program. Well done, Iran. President Bush is having trouble getting other countries to agree to sanctions because he's a jackass who has spent the last 6 years doing his own brilliant job of pissing off the world. Well done, George. The state of Virginia has agreed to a ban on same-sex marriage. The governor said that marriage is a holy sacrament between one toothless chick and his cousin. Why? If we let same-sexes marry, why, folks, they'd start to marrying animals. Then they'd start to marrying children. And then marriage, well, it wouldn't be sacred no more. He then went back to playing his banjo and drinking his corn pone. That's right, I said it, corn pone. An interesting side note, this was not the first time the word corn pone has been used on the Queer Edge. It is the first time it was used as a noun and not a verb. On January 13th, a 15-year-old Florida student carried a pellet gun into school, waved it around, and was shot by police. I would just like to say that had one of his teachers been sleeping with him, this probably would have never happened. We have to get more teacher-on-student sex if we want the violence to end. That's a bad one to have silence on. Okay. Homosexuals are doing a tremendous job of taking over the world, and now for all the queer soldiers on the front lines, it's time for an update on the gay agenda. Recruitment levels are holding steady with the strongest areas of straight turning gay still in bodybuilding and light industrial steel. There's also a strong showing in media infiltration with television networks like this one, major films like Brokeback Mountain, and openly lesbian comic strip characters like Mary Worth. And finally on the gay agenda, mouthwash. More Americans are paying attention to oral hygiene than ever before, and sweet minty breath has been a gay calling card since one caveman turned to another and said, "Would you like some gum?" That's this week's gay agenda. George Bush has been using the term heck a heck of a lot lately. He has said Condi Rice was a heck of a Secretary of State, Donald Rumsfeld is a heck of a Secretary of Defense, and Michael Brown was doing a heck of a job after Katrina. Apparently, the president uses heck as another way of saying either outrageously inadequate, stupendously inept, or galactically ass-sucky. And now with a report from our science desk. Well, before we go to the science desk, why don't we have a little quick interview with, of all things, the First Lady has gone to Africa because there was a new premier elected there. Let's have a satellite interview. Mrs. Bush, are you there? Can we hear you?
Well, thank you, Rob. No, I'm having a great time over here in Africa. I was almost run over by a rhino a little while ago, but the Secret Service chased it down the hill there. But I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. We are delighted to be here. When I heard that Mrs. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was going to be inaugurated as the president of Liberia, you know, she's going to be the first colored woman to ever head up an African country. So when I heard that, I said, I got to get Condi Rice to come with me and make me feel a little bit more comfortable and head right on out to it. You know, if I was going to the Cotton Club, I'd bring Louis Armstrong. You know what I'm saying.
So, Mrs. Bush, when did you leave on your trip?
Oh, we left on Monday. It was actually Martin Luther King Day. I'm telling you, it was just a dark continent festival from the get-go. I had them load that plane up with fried chicken and watermelons, and I got Condi with me, and I said, let's boogie. You know, when you go black, you never go back. That's what she told me.
I know you were in Ghana earlier today, and you spoke at a teaching college. Now, what was that like?
Oh, it was the cutest little place you ever saw, Rob. It reminded me of the Daisy Hill Colored Girls Housekeeping College back in Crawford. It really did. It was just really well swept up. And, you know, ever since the election, I'm very good now at posing for pictures with little ethnic faces. It doesn't make me nervous at all. I just like to have a couple margaritas first, and I'm set to go.
I understand one of your daughters was with you this time. What are her interests in Africa, and what was it like having her with you on this trip?
Yes, my daughter is here. My daughter, not Jenna, but the other one.
Barbara.
Barbara, yes, that's right. Barbara is here with us on this trip because she has a great interest in the huge African AIDS crisis. I think mostly she just wants to make sure she doesn't get it, you know what I'm saying? But also, for some reason, she thinks this is a good place for her to get weed. I don't know why she thinks that. I mean, these people can't grow 3-piece to fill a pod, and Barbara thinks there's a giant hydroponic pot plant around the corner. She should not listen to her sister, anyway.
Now, you mentioned the African AIDS crisis. Beyond your daughter's involvement, what are your thoughts on the larger
My
issue?
daughter, Barbara, is not spreading AIDS. How dare you suggest that? And Jenna is not here, so you just be careful what you're saying.
No, I'm sorry. I mean with respect to the spread of AIDS among African people.
Oh, I see. Well, now that is different. Honestly, between you and me, I cannot understand it. I mean, when I look at those people, I can't figure out why sexual promiscuity is even a problem. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, well, you know, when my husband and I went camping and there were a lot of flies buzzing around, it was not a turn on for me. Anyway.
Now, in a recent CNN interview, you all but endorsed Condoleezza Rice for the GOP nomination in 2008. What kind of president do you think she'd be, and how do you think she'd do in a race against Hillary Clinton?
I was just kidding when I said that. I don't really support Condi Rice for president. I mean, I think she'd be cute and everything, just like I think my collection of Mammy salt and pepper shakers is cute. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just cute up there on the shelf, you know. And as for Hillary, well, listen, I have met her, but I do not know her very well. But let's put it this way. She is very Jewish to me, and not really the type person that I think I'd like to be friends with, you know? She wrote that big fat book, Leaving History. I want to tell you something. If those people were leaving anything in the White House, it comes as a shock to me. That was like the Beverly Hillbillies in reverse when they went out of there. We had to replace the garbage disposals. I'm telling you what, and needless to say, We had to have a lot of things shampooed when we took over that house. I'll just leave that right there.
Thank you, Mrs. Bush, and have a safe trip home.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm not sailing on a Liberian tanker or anything. I'm taking Air Force One, so don't you worry. Thanks for asking, and God bless you, Rob.
Well, that's the news from The Edge. We'll be right back. Take a look.
Watching the girls. You may recognize our next guest as the breakout star of NBC's The Rerun Show, where he portrayed Mrs. Garrett. I do need LASIK from The Facts of Life. Since then, he's been on Mad TV, filmed 2 movies with Gary Marshall, Raising Helen, and The Princess Diaries, 2 royal engagement. He's currently preparing to star in Happy Days, the musical. Perhaps you would like to please welcome Mr. Paul Vogt. To move in the middle, darling. Bernhard, let's move over for you. Hi, baby.
I don't expect you to. Are you all right?
No!
Stroke.
I was having a mild seizure.
Do you smell toast?
It's
burning
like
toast.
Sandra was having a little Dick Cheney moment there.
Oh, God.
Where we weren't sure, you know.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I did him on the show once.
Did you?
Yes.
Tell me all the people you did on Mad TV, all
Yeah.
your characters. We want to know.
Too many to mention.
What was the one you were just talking about before that?
I did Fanta Beth.
What is Fanta Beth?
You know the Fanta girls that pop? They look so.
Yes, we had one of them on the show,
In the
actually.
movies, like Fanta, don't you want the Fanta? for Fanta sodas, right?
Uh-huh,
And they're
right.
on the jet skis and stuff. And they were trying to like do something with it because they're on all the time, especially in the movie theaters.
Yes.
So my idea was that you would show the Fanta girls, and the first would be all hot and sexy, Capri, Fanta, Fanta, and then the next one is Lola, Fanta, Fanta, and the next one is Kiki, Fanta, Fanta, and then it says now in 2 liters. Beth. And it was me with this huge like Latina wig, and I was on the jet ski, and I was like, Fanta, Fanta! And she was a big idiot. She couldn't rhyme, because they do all the rhyming. So they're like, you look hot in all that plaster. Drink some Fanta. And she goes in, oh, you're so sexy. I'm sexy too. Ah! And she just was a big, and she thought she was the sexiest thing in the world, and she was a plus-size gal.
Well,
Portly, as you said.
Portly. Yes, that's a new word
Big,
that
tall,
I've learned.
portly, and
Yes.
gorgeous.
Okay, what is this thing with Happy Days?
We're doing Happy Days the musical here in LA at the Falcon Theater.
Gary Marshall. What is
It's Gary Marshall. It's the TV show. We have been working on it. This is the 7th go-around. We've been doing workshops for about 4 years now, and this is the first full-fledged production. Like, we've been doing it with scripts and stuff, and this will be like with sets and costumes and dancing
and memorized lines.
memorize lines, and me with a big number. I'm a Malachi brother. Remember?
Barely.
The Malachi brothers were in the Demolition Derby episode. Pinky Tuscadero's in it. She's hot.
The original?
Yes. She's 80.
Dust it off.
She's 80
85.
and she's
No, I
hot.
think
Well,
Pinky
the show isn't that
Tuscadero.
old.
No,
was her
seriously, I
name?
think she's in prison or something.
She might be.
Yeah, I think
She should have been
hair.
arrested
Yeah.
for her performance. Oh, come on.
Sandy.
Now, wait a minute.
Biting.
I'm not a mean Isaac Mizrahi red carpet person. I'm not going to grab that gorgeous girl's tits. What's her name? That gorgeous actress.
Scarlett.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. What?
He
Poor
grabbed her
thing.
breasts?
Yeah, like this. Like this.
Oh.
He did that for the Golden Globe?
Yeah. I mean, if I was Scarlett
Those were the
Johansson, I
Golden
would have taken my
Globes.
tits and rubbed them up against his cock. His cock would have fallen off.
He doesn't have
It
one.
would have brittled and just snapped off. It would have frozen like Mr. Freeze. I mean, he couldn't have handled it. She could have gone so in on it. Now, wait a minute. Aren't you doing Hairspray in Vegas?
I will be going into Hairspray in Vegas. I'll be taking over for Harvey Firestein.
Harvey needs a little rest.
Yeah. That's usually, by the way, Bruce Valanche's job.
Yes, it is.
He usually
takes it.
follows whatever Harvey leaves off. Then,
What
so
hap-
you're obviously, maybe you're the new Bruce Valanche.
No, he's not.
I'll start growing hair everywhere as soon as I can.
Yeah, you were in Raising Helen, right?
I filmed a scene in Raising Helen, and it was pretty much improvised with Kate Hudson. And then that section of the movie got cut. And so when they asked if they had a clip, I said, well, I'd like to show the scene that never made it to
Let's
the theaters.
do that. Let's do that's what we'd
I
love
wanna
to do.
see
Why
this.
not? Give it some airtime.
Let's
Right.
do that. Here it is.
Slumping brides don't slump.
Not slumping.
Just go. Where have you been?
Sorry, I've been in the restroom.
Well, I don't want to hear about your eating disorders. Come on, put this on. Get down here.
I'm so nervous.
We're all nervous, honey. Just remember you're pretty. Get your veil. Meet me over here.
Artie, hi.
Helen!
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Oh, such a big hug.
Well,
What do you want?
Artie, I need you to make a prom dress for my niece, Audrey.
Why would you ask me, of all people, to make a prom dress?
Because it was me who introduced you to half of the city's top designers and photographers. Audrey? Free champagne. Audrey? No champagne. It's free. We were thinking something kind of like this.
Helen, I do not do ready to wear. Audrey, I will make you an...
Froze you out.
Well, there's so much more that happens, but I guess you have to get the DVD to...
I think we have a clip of Mad TV, too.
Oh, really? What
Yeah,
clip
that's
would that
what.
be?
Let's see Mad TV.
Yeah,
Can we?
let's see Mad TV.
Okay,
So I
let's
can
see.
relax some more and not have to talk.
is Dr. Bruce Banner. When I get angry, I turn into a monster.
Bruce, don't do this.
I have to take this serum, Betty. If it works, then the Hulk will be gone forever.
But if the serum doesn't work, you'll still turn into the Hulk. Except the Hulk will be terribly, terribly gay.
Now, not only do I become the Hulk, I also take lonely fat girls to the prom.
Me not destroy lab, girlfriend. Me install window box for flowers.
It's just a fun.
I was painted pink head to toe, literally to toe.
Well,
Did they leave a little space at the end of your toe so you could breathe? Remember in Goldfinger, that was the rumor? They're like, if they didn't leave,
So she didn't
if they
pass
didn't
out.
leave like some actual skin at the base of her spine, she would have suffocated.
No, it's all modern.
It's the kiss of death.
Pink's a little
when
easier
you
to handle.
played Mrs. Garrett
Yes.
from The Facts of Life, well, let me ask you this. Which of all the Mad TV characters, which was your favorite?
I liked Fanta Beth because it was just ridiculous and fun. It's funny that there are a lot of women, and I don't know why that is. But
Why you
it
did
works.
a lot of women?
No. I played a lot of women. I played Natalie, who was a 13-year-old girl, and she was a friend to Stephanie Weir's character, and she was just kind of quirky and Canadian, and she thought her father was a vampire because he always left home at night, and because he had an overnight job, and so she thought she was half vampire, and that was so cool. And she was just like this really gawky, overweight teen, and I loved playing her, and I loved doing Mrs. Garrett, and it was kind of a weird, I never did Mrs. Garrett before. The night before my audition for the rerun show, I went online, looked up some stuff, and my roommate was in the other room, and I would yell, "Does it sound like her?" I was like, "Oh, Toohey. Oh, you shouldn't be touching people there." And it just happened.
That was such a great bad show. It really was.
Oh, yeah.
In the whole scheme of things, that was really a good bad show. And so when do you start this thing, continuing following the career of Bruce Villain?
Bruce Villain.
Yeah.
I'll have to find out what else he's done.
Yeah.
We're doing Happy Days. We're in rehearsal now. Happy Days will open here in LA February 12th. We do previews, and February 24th it opens. And that's at the Falcon Theater in Burbank. And then at the Luxor,
where is it?
Burbank, we like to call it here.
The Falcon Theater in Burbank.
Okay.
Not Falcon Videos.
You have a twin brother, don't you?
I have an identical twin brother.
Oh, wow.
Follows me around. And I use him for spare
Can I
parts.
ask you this? Is he, like myself, portly as well?
He is portly as well, yes. And he drinks and smokes, and I don't.
Okay.
And there's a
I think
difference.
that all
And skin
portly
tone
men
alone.
should stick together. And by the way, do you have a website?
I don't have a website because...
Oh, man, either get in the business or get out
Well,
of
here's
it.
the problem, because if you put paulvogt.com, it's a German scientist. So people look me up, and they think that I've developed some incredible rocket.
Well, take advantage.
Yeah,
Take credit
take
for
advantage
it.
of it. Yeah.
All right.
See, try to make
Check
some money
me
out
out.
of it. Hey, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be selling you some of the most incredible items that have ever been offered on television before.
I bet.
Yeah, yeah. Who in the hell knows what they are? But I know that they're special. And again, if you don't want to purchase the products, you can send your cash directly to Jack and Sandra. Am I right?
Please just send us a blank check.
Blank checks are accepted. Thank you very
We
much.
won't go above
We'll be
$500.
right back with tons of queer stuff right after this.
from her new album, Why Did You Call Me Again? Please welcome the lovely and talented GIOIA!
Minute by minute, day after day, I was watching the clock, my life just ticking away. Counting the promises you didn't keep, keeps me awake when you're not next to me. Wasting my time, just convincing myself, why couldn't you just call somebody else? All of the names that I've seen on your list, what did I do to deserve this? Why did you call me again? Pretend you're my friend to make me go through this again. Why did you call me again? I want this game to win. Why did you call me again? Again. Why did you call me again and again and again and again? Was it a moment of weakness you felt? Did your new lover find somebody else? I've been here before and I've heard every lie. This call is expired, you run out of time. Wasting my time, just convincing myself. Why couldn't you just call somebody else? All of the names that I've seen on the list, what did I do to deserve this? Why did you call me again? Pretend you're my friend just to make me go through this again. Why did you call me again? I want this game to win. Why did you call me again? Why did you call me again? And again. I don't wanna ever have to go there again, no. Sorry, baby. Won't you hang up the phone? This is the end, yes. No. Why did you call me again? Why did you call me again? What did I do to you, baby? Why did you call me again? And why did you call me? I've been wasting all my time just to make me go through this again. Why did you call me? Why did you call me again? Why did you call me? Go call somebody else. Why did you call me again? No. Why did you call me again? Hang up the phone.
Come here. Have a seat. GIOIA. That's Sandy. Very cool. Hey, you're a happening woman. You know that? You're a happening woman.
Thank you.
It's pretty happening yourself. I have a meeting with Ariana Huffington after this, and I'm going to tell her all about you.
Yeah, because why? Sandra? That makes no freaking sense.
Well, nothing does.
Okay. Well,
but that's why the world is working so beautifully
so
now.
you're going to tell Ariane Huffington about this new CD. That's great, Sandra.
This is a funny thing, this CD. I put this together, put it out on Koch, and they dropped their dance label. So I'm just waiting for them to give me back my record.
I will go
in the meantime,
I will get it back for you.
Will you do
that? And I will say, you give Joya however.
Yeah, so what is your website? Let's talk about your website. We're going to run it across this little screen thing here. What is it? What's your website?
GIOIABRUNO.com. It's GIOIA.
There we go.
BRUNO.
And you can get this CD through that, right?
Yeah. There's a few. I think they might still have some at Amazon.
Here's the thing. We got to wrap this up. You're going to stay with us, but here's the thing. You used to be with Exposé.
You're taking me.
You taking
to the point of no. Yeah.
I got to tell you this.
To the point of no return.
That's how I feel right now. I feel like there's no 20 years ago, people still remember that song.
20 years ago, it's like a blink of an eye, honey. It's nothing.
We got to go to a break. We're going to be right back with more Exposé. Am I right? Right after this, stay tuned. Welcome back. Okay, can I just say, did the lady Joya just
disappear?
Lift our spirits?
Yeah. She lifted my spirits and then she left me in the lurch.
Here's what she did. She got her nipples hard and then split. And that's just not
Talk
right.
about an expose and her dancers.
Yo! Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know that they had phoned me again.
Yeah.
They'll remind you.
And here's what we were talking about during the break. Sandra is going to add...
Did you choreograph that little...
Yeah. Sandra is going to add some of this pizzazz to her live show.
I am.
And Paul and I are going to be the portly backup dancers.
You are.
Because
You're going to be the Sandra Bernhard champagne cocktail dancers.
Yeah, we're going to be doing this. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Promise me. Promises, promises. You
that's
too.
what's hot
you
these
know,
days.
You lead me on, you weave me in, and then you just snip me out.
Drop you like a hot lesbian.
Yeah, you will. You will.
That's just the way we are. Hey, please welcome J. Keith Van Straaten from What's My Line, which is live on stage. Please, this guy has a really fun show.
What?
Come on out, sir. Have a seat.
Nice to see
Okay.
you.
Hello.
Hi.
What happened? What's wrong?
Okay, here's the thing. This show has been running like for 340 years now.
Just
right?
about.
Yeah.
Give or take 339.
Okay. And it's become like the big hot ticket in L.A.
Right.
And be the media whore that Paul Vogt is.
Right.
And mention the name of the studio 500 times.
It's at the Acme Comedy Theater on La Brea
and say
in
it
Hollywood.
again, one more
the
time.
Acme Comedy
and please
Theater.
say it one more time.
I believe it's the Acme Comedy
Thank you
Theater.
very much.
But-
Now,
I believe it's in Hollywood. 135 North La Brea.
okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It's obviously from the old TV series.
Correct.
And what you've done is you've put that on stage.
That's true as well.
Now, who originally hosted What's My Line?
It's just like a plethora of nostalgia today.
Or some people call it plethora.
Right.
A plethora of nostalgia.
Right. Okay,
It's a lot.
so here's what you do.
Right.
Is who hosted? By the way, who?
The original show was hosted by John Charles Daly.
John Charles Daly. Did I ever date him?
Yes.
I might have dated him. And is this something like with Dorothy Kilgallen?
Dorothy Kilgallen was on the original panel. Arlene Francis,
I love
Bennett
it.
Cerf was on the
Yes.
original
Yep.
panel. Steve Allen.
Peggy,
Cass.
Peggy
Cass was very
Thank
often on the show.
I think I dated
Adore
all of
her.
those people
Shit, adore.
at one point in my life. Okay, so you are the host.
Right.
By the way, many of you may recognize him from, you hosted a show called
Beat the Geeks.
Beat
on
the
Comedy
Geeks.
Central. Thank you, everybody. Really.
Yeah.
Quite a crowd.
Yeah. You won 14, 15 Golden Globes
Right,
for that.
right.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I have
it's
all of
amazing.
them.
Now, but here's the thing. I look at this show every week and I see that you get some amazing guests on this show.
Yeah, well, every show we've got a panel of 4 people, and then we have a surprise mystery guest at the end of every show.
And
So people drop in. You invite people down to do the show.
Exactly.
Once or more than once?
Well, if you're on the panel, you can be on the panel more than once, but we have not repeated a mystery guest. Our celebrity mystery guests have been different every week.
I love it.
Yeah, tell us some of your celebrity mystery
Some of
guests.
the people we've had like Larry King and Drew Carey, Noah Wiley. We've had Lindsay Wagner, Alison Arngrim, who I know has done the show a couple times. And
Look,
what's
I can
that?
do an impression of Larry King.
Let me ask you a question.
Because I love Larry King, I really do. But
The crypt keeper.
Because he's done so much in the world of plastic surgery. He's the first man to ever have his earlobes attached to his shoulders and sewn together, so it gives him that.
Yeah,
that
we didn't talk about that too much on when he was on. No, but maybe next time.
You showed him some respect.
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
Respect that
Tiny
only
bit.
Larry King deserves.
Yeah, Larry King deserves
Well,
the
we hope
respect.
others deserve it as well.
Now, how do you get all these celebrities? Do you give one hell of a blowjob?
That I do, but that's incidental to the show. Actually, I don't know. I don't really know if I do. I've never had that. I've never had that opportunity. Okay. Hi, Gay Hulk.
Me want a blowjob.
Funnily enough, that has never come up as a form of payment or something. Everybody who does the show, they do it for free. It's not broadcast. It's just in a 99-seat theater, and people seem to enjoy doing the show.
Okay, let's take a look at the clip. And Sandra, Paul, and myself are the true judges of comedy. Okay. And we will decide whether this is a funny show.
Let's
and
see it.
people should go see it. So let's
I didn't
roll
realize
the
it was a
clip.
competition show.
Let's roll the clip and see.
once a week, every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock at the Acme
so it's
Theater in
not
LA.
too stressful then.
Well, you know, I could use a
you have to-
massage.
when you have to fill up a week of this, I'd
We're going to wrap this up. But here's the thing. Would it be too forward of me to ask to be a panel on the...
Anybody can ask to be a panelist.
I love that.
We have a very
show.
We would be thrilled.
Honey,
I have never
that was
been-
a read.
That was a read, and I got to tell you this.
Old-fashioned read.
High five on that turn down.
We would be honored and pleased
Because
and
that
thrilled to
was
have you on our panel.
blunt. Now I've been
Well,
called...
he was super cold before
courtly.
the show, too, so I knew he was real.
I have been name-called everything this week, and now I've been turned down.
No,
What the hell?
we'd be
What
happy
is
to
life?
have you. Happy to have- as we-
We'll be
as we-
right back with more Queer Edge right after this. Stay tuned. What an entertaining show we've had tonight, for the most part, and every one of you has brought something to the table. Some of you more than others, but it's still been incredible. But the main thing is that the Queer Edge is not just a show of wackiness. It's about education. It's no child left behind. It's no drug left behind. And we want to find out what each of you will take away from tonight's show, because that is what Sandra and I are trying to promote: knowledge. And
Above all else.
And intergalactic peace as well. So let's start with you, GIOIA. What have you learned tonight?
I learned that I can grow my hair to my ass in about 5 minutes.
grow your hair to your ass in about 5 minutes.
if I really want
That is the first time I've ever heard anyone learn that on this show.
never knew I could.
But you know what? During our break, I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, Laura, what have you learned?
Well, I did learn that the appropriate term is African American.
Okay.
And I just got confused because I was in Africa. It was just easier for me to say colored. But
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. I don't think you've been, because now we're hearing chocolate from New Orleans and other
right.
terms, so I think you're going to be fine.
Well, I'll try and be good on that from now on. Thank you.
Yeah, and besides, you're someone who's killed someone in a car crash before, so I wouldn't worry about this little thing.
Oh, one little killing is nothing.
This is very minimal compared to killing someone in a car.
yeah.
Paul, what have you learned?
I just learned that Laura Bush killed somebody in a car crash.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
And by the way, good luck on your production of Hairspray in Vegas. We're all going to be coming to see that.
Yay.
And Mr. J. Paul Keith, what have you learned?
Mr. J. Paul Keith, I think I learned tonight the true meaning of the Malachi Crunch.
What is that?
This.
Ah, I see, I see. And Sandra, what have you learned,
I
honey?
have learned that nobody knows what Joya Halava is, and I'm heartbroken.
Well, that is your job to educate. That's why we're here.
Halava.
So everyone look it up.
Joya Halava.
Tell them how to, Sandra, tell them how to spell it real quick.
It's Joya, Joya Halava. It's Halavaah.
So everyone go look it up, and guess who's taking us out? Joya! Come back and see us tomorrow with more Queer Edge!
Sometimes